It worked?
It works.
It worked. The mouse works. Episode 33, Wouldn't Want to Be Me. Episode 7 of the 3rd season? Question mark? We gotta stop taking breaks. I fucked this up too much. It's 33.
You got it.
It's definitely 33.
Should I look on Spotify real quick?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna roll with it. Shit. And all the things that have torn me apart, nothing has made me more whole. Covering the good, the bad, and the shit that keeps us going. Straight from the head ref's table, I'm your host, Travis Papa Bear Rogers, and you are listening to A Forest Through the Trees, a cave podcast, here with the man, the legend.
Go ahead.
I don't know. There's
Keep
not
going.
a lot much to...
Go ahead. Come on.
The not qualified for the WPO.
All right.
Carl Lemaster.
All right.
All right. Hey,
11 points,
11 points. 11 points. And what did we find out? That if you roughly did it without, like, accurately doing the calculator, it's, like, just shy of 10 times body weight. But that's only if you're, like, 198 to 220,
If
right?
you're a small guy, yeah.
If you're a small fry.
Right. If you're, like, a bigger boy, like a 270, you don't got to do 27.
Yeah, it's got favoritism. If you're thick, it'll do the trick. You'll get there quicker.
It's classist, but like weight class.
Yeah. All right, I like that. So I was going to say last week, we took a break because we hosted King of the Cave 6, our annual summer meet here. Carl worked as a spotter and loader. My wife had off work, and we got to spend the best day with 3 of my boys that I coach, and I couldn't have asked for a better day and a better group, man.
It was a good one.
It was one of those days where, like, it really reminds you of why you still enjoy the sport despite all the shittiness surrounding us here lately.
Yeah, dude. It's been a storm, dude.
It's been a storm. Been a shit
But we have
storm.
weathered it.
It's just, instead of raining cats and dogs, it's just been raining turds, small and large.
Yeah.
Of different quantities.
It's mostly large turds.
Yeah, mostly large turds, which equivalent to large turds of people.
About the size of like the Las Vegas Sphere-sized turds.
About the size of a person. I can think of a couple in particular.
Yeah.
Turd-sized people. But it was a great day. Shout out to Brad, DJ, and Kevin, who totally just made my day and reminded me of why this sport is, why I invest so much time, why I invest so much money, why I've spent so much time at the cave to make this a better place for us and for lifters and for training. And like, it all just comes together on days like that. So I'm very proud of those 3. We had a really good day. A couple of them didn't have exactly what they wanted, but again, when you're surrounded by guys who can consistently pick themselves up and pick those up around them, it makes for a good day no matter what. So yeah. I'm very proud of all 3 of those guys. And shout out to everyone that competed. We had a blast. Pretty smooth meet. No misloads. No.
Of course there wasn't any misloads.
Hey, it happens. Not at our meets. I'm just saying it happens.
No, we had a great crew up there.
Yeah, we had a really good crew. Shout out to Eddie. That was Eddie's first time.
Spotting and loading. And I was like, Eddie, you are the biggest person here. Get on the back.
Yeah. So Eddie back spot for us. Carl was the side. Rachel was the side. And we had a volunteer. And then we also had, who was on the other side? Sean Washburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a guy I used to coach and very good friend of the cave. So we had a solid crew. Our new guy did great too. He did a really good job. And he reached out to me. Actually, he's down from Aaron's way with Black Flag.
Shout out to Sky for hopping in.
Yeah, man. Sky killed it, man. He was very polite, very just humbled to be here, and just an all-around good guy. So shout out to everyone who had a killer meet and also a killer staff crew.
So how did your guys do? What number meet is this for Brad? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, no, because Brad's done 2 with me.
Okay.
Since he switched coaches and.
Gotcha.
I didn't poach him. No,
that's
what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
If I remember right, he came to you after
he
right?
did after a meet. Yeah,
yeah.
After a meet, he came to me and was wondering if I had spots. And actually, when he gets back from their giant soccer vacation, they're watching the cup and everything.
They going out to a game like legit?
Yeah.
Wow,
he texted me from a game the other night.
Super sick.
He's looking to do nutrition with me as well. So shed some lbs and getting. He said, "It's not about the scale, man. I just want to look like I lift more." And I was like, that's, you know what? That is fair. That is fair.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then I hit him with nothing tastes good as looking good. Right. And then he was like, "You're an idiot." And I was like, "Yeah, I know."
You're a dumbass.
Yeah, I know. It's my Globo Gin quote of the day.
It is.
But Today we're going to talk about it's kind of a smorgasbord of things. It's a multitude of things.
Toss some things.
Just because we had so much we didn't get to cover last week. I do want to talk about Nationals quick.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Nationals quick?
Throw it down.
Just because I know that's not on the. I mean, it's sort of on the list, but Nationals, we did RPS Nationals 2 weeks ago, right?
We showed up. We didn't do it.
We didn't do it. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Coaching my girl, Elise Frazier, absolutely murdered it. In multiply, we had hit 600 a couple times in training. We ended up with, I think, 583 on the platform.
Yes.
We did miss 6. We're definitely going to work on some, I wouldn't say weaknesses, but better suit advantages. Like, she doesn't use the straps to the most of her capabilities.
That killed me.
Yeah, that killed me too. When I saw how they set them, I was like, you gonna like set those?
You got no strap right now.
Yeah, I was like, you're basically just wearing 2 pairs of briefs, my guy.
I mean, if she's made it work this long,
that's what I'm saying. I've seen her hit 6 the whole time. So, like, I think she's definitely good for, like, easily another 30, 40 pounds once we figure out the straps. So, shout out to her, man. She absolutely killed it. Was a ball buster of a bench shirt. She was in a gray line overkill. Terrified of that shirt. Had done really good in prep. I even got her to do a double touch in that same shirt, but got super nervous about it because she's never used that shirt in a meet, and it can kind of be very finicky depending on your weight fluctuation. Absolutely killed it. First touch was super duper hard, and we knew it was going to be, but she held out for it and got the touch, and everything out besides that was just PRs on the way, man. Ended up with 360 pounds.
Which is more than she handled any time in training, right?
Crazy bench. So 360-pound bench, and then ended up with a 419 pull. So the bench and
425 pull.
Was it 25?
She got the last
it was
one,
a 25. It was so both a bench PR and a squat PR. And I think we totaled PR by a smidge.
It was like a
it was a smidge just because of the missed squat.
Right. Totally.
But other than that, man, absolutely murdered it. Very proud of her. And then after that, she asked me to do the logo for her meet because they just got approved at Invictus Barbell, and that is in Maine.
No, I think it's
Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I knew it. Sorry about that.
It's up there.
You know, I'm bad with geography.
English teacher over here.
I mean, dude, you've seen me with Google Maps. I'm terrible. Actually, our last trip only missed 1 turn. That was pretty good.
You're consistently missing 1 turn per trip, and it's fine.
The 1 turn for trip for me on average, that's really good.
That's fine.
I feel like that is fair.
Although we did every single time we get an Airbnb, I have to double check the distance because it usually is like way too far away than we'd like.
Okay. So that is fair. That is fair. I am surprised you leave that in my hands to handle.
I'm always double checking it.
I mean, you're like he's got this, but I'm gonna look.
Yeah, it's like letting the lead out on the dog.
Right. That makes sense. That you know what? I can't even argue that. It's fair. But so they just got approved for RPS as a full meet director, and she'll be doing her first full power meet, Battle Over the Bridge. Do you remember the date off the top of your head? I definitely don't.
No, September something.
September, yeah, it was in a little while. But if you are looking for that, you can find the link to that on my page for the artwork. It's the shark battling the kraken that I did up for her, and so. If you're interested and you're out that way, or you want to fly out and experience, like, obviously I vibe very well with Elise. Not only is she a good athlete, I consider her a very good friend, and she runs her gym the same way I would probably run my gym here at the Cave, man. She gives a shit about our lifters, and I know she gives a shit about our meet. So undoubtedly, I know that's going to be a solid meet.
Roughly right now, it's about 12 to 14 weeks out, I think. So, like, if you're looking for a meet and you're around that area, or you're like traveling for one, there you go.
So shout out to her and her crew. Everyone she brought that day too was super kind, super nice. Reminding me of Cave away from the Cave, man. So I always love and enjoy seeing that outside of the Cave. But yeah, so Nationals, our meet, we've done it 2 weeks back to back, and now we get a break this weekend, right? We be chilling?
I think so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I say I hope
we have a squat. This is the last squat I'm taking in moderation. After this,
because this is week 4 for you.
Right. This is the first full block since our deal. So, like, now that we can get past this squat, afterwards I'll start pushing numbers.
Yeah. We've been doing volume on volume, and of course it wouldn't be summer officially if I wasn't hurt. So that did indeed happen.
This isn't serious though.
It's not serious, but I was due.
This is marginally less.
Definitely less severe. Less severe. So I had a small tear in one of my lats doing none other than pull-ups.
The super cool movement that powerlifters do.
Embarrassing. Third set of pull-ups, I felt something pop and move. And then I calmly stepped off the little box because me and Carl have to use a box because we're so short. And I stepped down and I said, Carl, I don't mean to alarm you, but I'm pretty sure I just tore something in my lat. And he goes, no. And I said, oh yeah, man, stick your finger here. And of course there's like a little divot. And I'm like, yeah, that's tender. And I said, I guess we'll know how bad within, if it's real bad, you'll see blood in a week. If it's a deep tear, it takes a lot of time for the blood to come to the surface and pool. Sure enough, 4 days later, around, I think it was like midnight, I took a picture and sent it to him, and there was blood in my armpit, lining up exactly where he had touched. And I was like, yep, that's definitely
I think it was like a
little something.
Right after, it was like, okay, well, looks like our squat variation is going to change.
Yeah. So I had to switch up squat variation, and obviously I have not deadlifted because I don't want to be in that full arm extended position with my lats engaged. So I took a transformer bar, and then this past weekend I took a bully bar and was absolutely fine on either of those. So I think I'm going to stick to those for at least another week or so. And then I got my first DE bench in with you on a 5x5 yesterday, and that was fine.
Yeah. So, if anything, it helps you, like, because you're getting back to it and you're testing the waters and you're feeling good. It also showed me a really bad variational squat for me. So
yeah. Carl's
double
not a low bar transformer fan at all.
Hated that.
Yeah.
Not cool.
You're strong, but the balance, you were like, nah, son,
it was
not about that.
And I was like, oh, I'll just take my shirt off.
Oh yeah, when you're hot and you take your shirt off, it makes it even worse. Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, don't stand behind me. This might fall back.
Well, that actually is a really good tie-in for what we're going to be talking about today, because we do have a lot of technical speed and AR, bands and chains, different kind of technical bars we're going to be talking about today. But I wanted to start this podcast off more so with a conversational piece me, Anthony, and Carl had at dinner on the day of weigh-ins before our meet. And I've been talking back and forth through Anthony with text and phone calls. We did a phone call we video call like little girls for like 45 minutes yesterday.
Gossiping.
Yeah, gossiping and giggling and stuff.
Talking about boys.
Getting all embarrassed and red. So yeah, we were talking, and he used a term at dinner that I'd never thought of in a powerlifting perspective, and he referred to me and him as one, and I had never heard it before. And he said, we were talking about something. He said, like us lifers. And I was like, lifer, man, I've never heard that in a powerlifting aspect. And so for me, I like to think on these things and like, what does that mean to me? Because me and him think a lot alike, and that's why I enjoy talking to him so much. We've experienced a lot of the same events and stuff through our powerlifting career. But I deemed it as someone who has given more than they ever really expected, and yet still somehow manages to still be here. And that invokes time, money, health, relationships, and that it's not just a phase or like an insta hustle or, a smidge of clips for 2 years and then you're on your way out. It's like who you become and struggle to survive without that. Like, you don't know where you situate your personality, your needs, your wants based on who you've become because of that. And that basically, in a nutshell, to live and die by that.
Right.
You would go until like going is physically and in reality like no longer an option, and not just saying like, oh, I'm getting too old for this, oh, I'm getting too whatever for this. It's until like you physically could not within any possibility do that anymore,
like getting buried underneath the monolith sort of thing. Like,
yeah, like, so when I think of lifer, I think of just tons of people who have like had it out with or had interactions with, both positive and negative, who are like, oh, I'm here to do something, I'm here to be the best. And then, and the same thing for negative connotations, when I've had people like argue with me or give me a bunch of shit or like, talk trash on me, like all those people within 2 to 3 years like fucking disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People that swore they were that type of lifter, that they were a lifer, that they were here for the long fucking haul. Right? And then just like smoke, man, vanish, trickle out, fade away. Yep. So I thought about it, and it's like, you can never really predict like who that's going to be. Like, I don't know if I in my own mind could like rightfully look at someone and know, like, that right there, that's a lifer.
True.
You know what I mean? I don't really think there's like
You don't think there's like a set time frame?
there isn't, man. Well, there physically there is not. If
Well,
you're
like-
a lifer, it's for life.
yeah, like you can't just say, "Oh, I've been doing this for like
X amount of years.
right." Yeah.
There's no stamp on it.
Even if it's a majority of your life, you're
There's still time
There's
to dip
still-
out.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
still time to
exactly.
give it up. And I mean, dude, I've known tons of people like that. Even before I had my first decade in, like there's tons of people that I just saw disappear.
yeah. You've seen more people leave the sport than I've seen come into the sport.
Dude, I 100% agree with that statement. That is very well said.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Yeah, that makes me very sad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's very true. But I just want to put that word out there, and I think personally, me and Anthony joke all around about like making new t-shirts. And he's like, we can't make a lifer t-shirt because like
That would defeat the purpose.
yeah, and a lot of people would buy it, and then it would be like
It'd be a bunch of posers.
yeah, it would like it would get played out really quick, and I was like, that's not what a lifer is, man. You can't define that with a t-shirt. You can't define that with like a set number of meets or a set number of years. It's just like the sickest part about that word and defining it is like you could only rightfully say that when the person you're gonna say it to no longer lives.
Yeah. So would that mean like you're not a lifer yet?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, in my view of it.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Ever since like in the beginning when I said buried under the monolith, that's what I've been thinking of. That'd be so sick.
I think that would be in order to sum it all up, that would definitely be a lifer.
Right. There are some people that you could say like, oh yeah, they're most likely a lifer because they've been doing it forever and have
Which
their
is
life built
crazy
around
because
it.
some of the talks me and Anthony have had about people that have like recently left, he was like, "Oh no, like I'm a good judge of character." Talking about Anthony, and
Sure.
he was like, "I was 100% like that's the guy forever," and it's not.
You never know, dude.
You never know, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard to judge that. And
People are always changing, man.
yeah.
As years go by, like if you're staying the same, you're doing something wrong.
You are, but there's also like this weird aspect of it, like you change, but like, do you?
There's something about like okay, it's super hard. You can't put a pin on it.
I know.
You
That's
can't-
why I wanted to
you
talk about
can't-
this
you
word.
can't
It's
put
a
a pin on
good
it.
word. That's why it provoked so much thought for me when we had that conversation at dinner.
Like there's obviously things that continually draw you towards what we do here. Like in not just like here, but just like draw you to this lifestyle of
Yeah.
like, being in the gym, powerlifting or whatever you do, like coaching, owning the gym.
Yeah,
Just
and when you
being
say
somebody that
lifer,
trains,
and I don't think lifer encapsulates like just competing. You know what I mean?
right, no, totally.
It's like your capacity within the sport.
Because you could be old enough and still in the sport, but you don't
And
compete in-
coaching and running
Right,
meets and stuff,
exactly.
you know what I mean? When you're like shit was so busted you couldn't do it
Yeah,
yet. But
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, is that what a lifer is?
I don't know. My first thought.
I feel like you, me, Anthony, and Roman could sit down and have an entire podcast about this one word.
Yeah, maybe. My first thought goes to Dave Tate. 'Cause
Okay.
He don't compete no more.
He does not.
He can barely do a lot of the movements that he'd like to probably because he's just so fucked up now.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
hurt,
It's true.
injuries, they all pile up over years. He still is very involved in the sport though.
Yeah. And so like, I again, like I don't think you could use just competing actively on the platform as a way to define a lifer, which is weird for me to say because I'm a huge advocate about like, bro, you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z if your ass ain't been up there for X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm very big on that. Like, I fucking hate that shit. Like, if you've done 4 meets, you better not be a fucking referee. You better not be a fucking meet director. Like, and I don't give a fuck who hears that. Like, I will say that till I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, it's your face is blue. That's
Yeah, like I'm not about that shit. Like if you have not earned your stripes and done your time in the sport on the platform, there is no fucking way you should be judging or holding outside of that.
But there's just like something that feels weird about not calling somebody a lifer when you have seen them in the sport and around it for so long. But I guess by definition you can't.
Yeah. Or can you?
I don't think so.
Dude, it's hard. It's hard.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think this is a good conversational piece and word to inspire others to talk about this, and which is why I wanted it. But I literally think it'd be super cool to have an episode with Roman and Anthony and talk about it.
Yeah. There was a clip from the West Side movie where Louis talks about like the only way to get your picture up on the wall is to die. And that's kind of like the same thing we're talking about.
Yeah, now. Yeah. And that's like, instead of metaphorically and talking about the word, that's like a physical example.
Right, that's a very physical example of what that entails.
Yeah.
Just different example.
Yeah, well, I told you when I die, I want to, what?
Go ahead.
Were you just waiting for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to be in the cave, but like, have you seen the deer that like they'll mount the head in front through one wall and then like the ass and legs are through the other wall, and we have at least 2 walls in here. I'm on butt naked.
No.
Butt naked.
No, dude.
No. But if you cut the middle, you can miss like top cheeks and balls, because that's in the wall. It makes sense. It's like a sandwich. It's it's like, think about it like my body as a naked Oreo.
No, I don't want to think about that.
All right, think about, Carl, think about my body as a naked tattooed Oreo, okay? The top part, the cookie part, right?
Right.
That's cookie. Like arms to belly button, torso, right? Okay. The cream is all the good parts. We're going to take those out because that's a wall.
Is this a light stuffed Oreo or is this a double stuffed Oreo?
For me, don't they make the thin ones?
They make the thins, yeah.
All right, I'm the thins. No double stuffing over here. All right? And then the ass half is the bottom of the cookie, but that's on the other side of the wall. So I want like a Superman pose, or maybe a rolling ab roll out, like with a wheel in my hand.
Nah, dude.
Like through the wall.
I would definitely like ask the taxidermist to do some like stupid pose. Like
okay, well either way, when I go down as a lifer, that's what I want.
Okay, you want to be taxidermy in your gym.
Or dude, if they build the pole barn, I want my naked body in your pole barn.
I thought you were about to say if they could put me on a pole like a pole dancer. I was about to be like, there's no way.
In the corner of your barn, Carl.
Fuck no.
With a disco ball.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hard ask. I don't know. It's your wishes, dude.
I would do it for you.
It's your
wishes. If I put it in my will.
It's your wishes, man, I guess.
Okay.
I guess I can't say no to that.
Yeah, you can't.
The things I do for you, man.
It's fine. Should we talk about some like real stuff?
Yeah, we can.
All right, fine.
I mean, the lifer stuff was real. I think that was a good conversation. And
I know. I definitely ruined it with
it's not
Oreo.
Ended. It's not ended though. Like
oh, the conversation about me naked. You want to keep going on?
No.
Okay. All right.
What else do you want to talk about? Is there more to the lifer aspect that you think we could cover?
There probably is, but I want to pause because I know Anthony's going to hear this, and then I want to hear his thoughts on it, and then we can regroup.
Okay.
So, speed in AR. We had this written down in some notes. We want to talk about it, about like what purpose does speed work / accommodating resistance work have a place in your training, how it has a place in our training, and kind of what purposes and things they serve, and also, of course, like proper setup.
Okay. I'm really glad you specified and you said speed work and AR work.
Because they are not synonymous with each other. They are not the same.
Right. You can use AR in speed work, but speed work should be a separate thing all by itself.
Agreed. And just because you are using AR does not mean you are a conjugate lifter.
Yes.
That is also not synonymous. A lot of people will see like somebody with bands or chains and automatically assume like, oh, I don't want to do that because I'm not conjugate. That's not what conjugate means.
Yeah. You see a lot of raw guys with chains now that you didn't used to be like.
They do, because they're learning of, well, let's go ahead and talk about that one first since it's already on it. And it's applicable to raw lifters as well.
Yeah.
So utilizing chains at the top of either a bench, squat, or deadlift. Now, obviously, there's going to be different nuances and uses for each one. But in a nutshell, obviously, as you think about how gravity and load works, as the chains pile up towards the deloading and bottom of one of those motions, right, it picks up more off the floor at the top portion and your lockout of that movement, right? So at the bottom, lighter, at the top, heavier, hence giving you the ability to overload different portions of the lift.
Yeah.
So how do you want to talk about let's talk about chains with squat first.
Okay.
Because you're pretty well versed in that.
You think so?
I mean,
I've been doing it for like a couple of years now, but I don't
Do
know.
you like it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. I prefer chains in my squat rather than bands.
Why's that?
I think it helps me. For one, it helps me get better with heavier picks. I think first and foremost, like chains are a great way you can overload the top end of your movement, and
Hmm.
so I can get really strong picking heavier weights, and so that wouldn't be a problem once I'm taking like an actual third attempt. Like I've picked 100 pounds more than this in chain weight. Like I'm not
Right,
even worried
right.
about that
I
anymore.
totally understand that. I also think with heavy bands versus chains on a top pick of squats, I think realistically the load is better for you with the chains. Like you
Mhm.
said, you prefer the chains because the bands are actively pulling you back down
Yeah,
and are quicker to simulate a different position of where the bar would actually be on your back.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's pulling you in a direction versus just weight hanging in a direction.
Now we used a lot of chains, or we used a lot of bands when I first started getting into like using AR in my
Right.
training, and it got me really strong really fast.
Oh, there's no doubt it'll get you
So like
strong.
bands work for that, but they beat you up more. They kind of guide you. Um,
Um, yeah, I would argue. I definitely agree. I feel like the bands have a more guiding motion, especially like say our monolith with the locked in pegs,
yeah,
right? Like once you pick and those are parallel with each other, like you are going down and up and it's going to guide you in that position. Now with chains, I think unfortunately for you, you're in a shitty position where you need both and I don't want to do both at the same time.
it's true. I thought
Because
about it.
like I don't want the bands on there to guide you, right?
Right.
But with the chain weight, you're experiencing the top pick, but as you unload, it's lighter at the bottom, which I know you can already handle.
Yeah,
So you're not feeling the increased stability while maintaining a heavier load. See what I'm saying?
I do. I do. It's nothing we can't. That can be achieved with just chains, though.
It
Like, I,
can be. You would have to really pay attention to the height of chains at where they are. Like it would
yeah,
take
we'd have to do some
a
crazy
very
chain
like
setups.
we'd be out there with tape measures and shit.
Yeah, like okay, this chain's like got to be 24 inches
Right.
off the
It would
ground.
be
This chain's got
very
to be 18 inches
yes.
off the
It
ground.
would be very like you had to really look at it. Um One of the other things we haven't played around with yet, even though we have a nice pair in here, is weight releasers.
We have a set of weight releasers in here.
Yeah, Mike has a pair in the other room in the orange monolith. They're really, really nice.
I had no idea.
Yeah, bro.
They're collecting dust, dude. We got to try that.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Well, I learned something new today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to
There's a
try
big
that.
pair of like orangish yellow ones in there, and besides the monolith.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. They're like inside the mono. Like you know how the forward part has like some
Yeah,
of his
yeah, yeah,
like
it's a little
strength
storage,
equipment with
yeah.
the hand grips and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look right under there.
Huh.
Yeah.
More you know.
You'll be like, hey,
All right, cool. Sick.
there's a weight release.
Well, we have some. All right.
Yeah,
let's
and
use
they're
it.
like super adjustable.
Nice.
Um,
What of before we get off track? What's the difference between a weight releaser and like a regular AR?
Okay,
Like
so
chains or
the
bands?
weight releaser where you're going to experience either chains or bands as accommodating resistance throughout the duration of the movement, only one portion getting less tension with bands or lighter with more chain pile on the floor. A weight releaser is going to carry the movement when you pick at the top. It'll carry the weight of the prescribed pick all the way down to the bottom of the motion. And then when you touch down, those weight releasers, they will turn off the bar at an angle and then not be there at all on the way up,
Mhm.
right? So you're only experiencing that load, right,
For half the movement.
for half the movement.
Okay. I think
It's,
they're
it's only the eccentric portion of the movement.
right. Would it like
The concentric, when you're pushing back to the top, you have none of that weight on there anymore.
well then wouldn't that be a good thing to like Okay, so here's my thought process.
Sure.
You have chains as your regular AR. They're gonna like want to move on you, so you're gonna like want to balance. It works your balancing heavier loads. Weight releasers would also do that, considering they're not tied down to anything.
I know where this is going. Continue.
Would it not be beneficial to have weight releasers on the bar, but also a small amount of band tension on the concentric.
Okay, that was better than I thought you were.
What were you thinking?
I thought you were going to try to add weight releasers with the chain, and then I'm going to be like, Carl, if you can figure out a way to do that with the plates without them piling on top of the chains and the weight releasers releasing at different times, I'm like, this motherfucker want to get hurt, bro.
Yeah, like, that wouldn't be too good. But bands, though, it's not going to gather at the bottom.
No, correct. I think it's very obviously doable with bands. Now, should we try that on our 1 month back from a meet? Probably not.
Yes. Full kit.
That's a big jump, dude. From volume in briefs to full kit weight releasers with bands on week 1.
It's not gonna look good.
No, it's gonna be terrible. You're gonna it's gonna be your idea.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna like it.
That's been a common theme the past month here.
Yeah. I worked very hard on a new program that incorporated not all, but many of Carl's ideas. And he has told me plenty of times in multiple different phrases and words to sum it up. He wasn't having very much fun.
No, dude, it's I've been struggling, man. You've either seen me in the corner huffing and puffing, dripping in sweat, or just like laid up on the floor after like a hard lift or something like that, where I'm like, dude, I can't move.
Yeah. But we're getting there. I think one of the biggest things to talk about too when you're talking about chains and bands set up for bench is a lot of people make the mistake of, and I think we've briefly touched on this before, of not making what I call the octopus.
Yeah.
Right? So you have the feeder chain, which is a smaller chain. You can purchase them at Tractor Supply, what have you. Or you can use like easy straps or almost like hammock straps you can buy from Amazon for cheap. Anything like that that has a dual and multiple amounts of loops in order to hang chains from different heights. The key here is you're having the majority of the chain bunch at the bottom of the lift and then still have 1 or 2 links on the floor at the top or removal of the bar from a rack at the top of the lift, right? A lot of people will misinterpret that when they see chains for the first time and hang like one single heavy chain and then it'll have like 3 more feet of just that individual chain touching the floor for the entirety of the lift instead of doubling it up and allowing more chain weight to be used. Right? Because that's going to greatly skew how you utilize percentages with your AR, right? Because if you're tracking at like, 40 to 50% of bar weight plus AR, right? But you're only using a single chain and then half that chain's already on the floor, that's like negating it. It's like nothing.
Yeah.
Right? It's really not going to make a difference for you versus where you'll be like, man, this percent is so low, like 40 and 50%, that can't be right. It feels just like way too light, right? Because they're not utilizing the chains correctly.
Is there a level of strength you got to have before you start adding like a band to the bar or adding like some like one chain to the bar? Cause say like somebody like you're coming here benching 95 pounds.
Right.
What chain are you going to use? You know?
That is
typically
true.
It's like a 20 to 30% of AR.
I honestly I think that's really hard to say, and I'm sure we could argue this tons of different ways and other people will argue with us about this. But I mean, like, so for a guy, right? For a guy, unless they're in an insanely low weight class, like I would argue that like if you're just maxing out at like 225 on bench, like you really shouldn't be using bands and chains yet. But the flip side of that is if a girl was, we would say, oh yeah, you can use bands and chains.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I think it's very hard to have, you never thought about it like that, right?
No, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So like I wouldn't say the weight is very definitive. I personally think experience level is definitive.
Because you would say like, oh, if there's a dude benching 225, you're like, oh, you're not very proficient in the movement yet. But if you see a chick benching 2 plates, you're like,
you're strong as fuck.
You
Yeah.
got a bench.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the divide right there.
Yeah. So I mean, I think, but again, like you look at those strength levels between those two different athletes, not only in gender but also in like proficiency.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, for a female, the average bench is a lot less closer than to 225 than for a male. Right. You know what I mean? So like, I think you're looking and gauging those numbers based on, I wouldn't say, for lack of a better word, like strength stereotypes, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a numbers game.
Numbers don't lie. Dude.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. It really is.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be fun to try to play around with like some of the lighter benchers.
You know who should talk to about that? Greeno.
Yeah, what's he do?
I'm just saying, Greeno, if you guys shout out, and you know what? I'll shout out Greeno. Greeno deserves a shout out because he hooked me up. And Greeno is like my favorite cartoon character.
You gotta explain that.
Greeno is a personality. If you've ever seen Greeno, Greeno is the guy that's always in a tracksuit, usually in the floppy hat, the Russian hat,
whatever fur Russian hat.
At meets, standing very aloofly in photographs with his athletes. Hell of a coach. Also booed up with Heidi Hauer, who is also a hell of a coach and strength athlete. But his new program he is working on with a bunch of other people called BarPath is absolutely insane. It is like open powerlifting on methyltren.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good way to
you know what
it.
that is.
It's a good way to
describe
what that
is. Carl. Everyone's like, what's Carl on? I'm like, I don't know, man. Methyltren.
Oreos.
Methyltren. Oh, sleeves of Oreos. And Jello shooters. Jello shooters and pasta, right? That's the secret from the last couple podcasts.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But BarPath has like the most insane like record stat scorekeeping you could possibly imagine. Right. So I hit up Greeno the other night. I saw you can put your gym on there and it'll ping your location. I was like, hey man, me and Carl have really been enjoying like looking at a lot of your stats, how you're organizing all this stuff, how he even has results faster than open powerlifting.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
He scours like the scoreboards. Oh, no, he uses Lifting Cast.
It's all ported through Lifting Cast?
He goes and gets it off of Lifting Cast because he had our APO meetup before APO did.
I was so stoked to see that.
Yeah, I was like, how did you do that? And he was like, oh, this is what I do. But amazing program. Shows you graphs, your percentages on how much you miss your seconds versus your thirds, like your overall weight increase, how you fluctuated throughout the years up and down, every division of every meet you ever done. If you're a gym owner, you can add gym member profiles from open powerlifting. It give you an average dot score of your gym. Like it is wild.
You can pin your profile up against another lifter.
Yeah, like do head to head, like it's matchups.
See how you compare.
It is absolutely insane, man. It is really,
cool.
really cool. So shout out to Greeno for doing an insane job with that. I've literally just cracked the surface of looking into all that it's capable of. So I'll definitely shout probably him out some more as we get more a deeper dive into it.
If you're like a video game nerd too, you might like it because they have like a whole like achievement, you can
like, it's basically like Xbox achievements.
Yeah, you get like points or like
do your first meet, have a decade in the sport, like all kinds of like different stuff. It's pretty cool.
And there's some rare ones out there too. Like he gave one special one out for like if you did the final Cincinnati Women's Pro-Am, like you got that.
Right, yeah, it was like a
cool
hard to get badge, yeah, like if you've ever done nationals and like all kinds of like very meet specific ones that are pretty cool. But anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about bands of chains.
We're talking about bands of chains
and bench.
And we got into I said something about like it was like the lighter like using less chains, and you're like, oh, we gotta talk about Greeno because he uses like,
because he would be a great person to measure that idea against. Yeah, because he does like he's very into like tracking progressions, like arguing averages. Like
he does a lot of bar speed stuff too.
He does. He also works with bar speed. I was just thinking that too. Yeah. That's a little. I think a lot of people haven't heard of that. It's like the little wire you attach to the bar that measures.
Yeah, I think OVR is
speed
a big
and
for that.
Effort output.
Right.
Yeah, and it tracks right to your phone, so you can see like between sets. Like, all right, this set was faster. This one was not as proficient. This is actually how my bar path moved.
Yeah, and it like takes into account like there's like a whole chart of like, okay, this is how many reps I've done. This is the meters per second. So this is my projected like top end of what I should be at today. So it's a great tool for like any RPE based stuff too.
Yeah, and it's a really good for progressive overload too, because you can look back at like, hey, even though if I kept these the same, can I move up next week because all these matched?
Yeah.
Right, like all these speeds were relatively the same, showcasing that like, hey, I'm getting faster and more technically sound. Maybe I can bump 5 pounds next week. So again, like you said, it can help equal out your decisions for that RPE.
Yeah, it's a great way to gauge fatigue without you being like the person that is feeling the fatigue. Like your coach can like, oh, obviously like your meters per second has gone down by like 0.7 or 0.07. 0.7 would be way too much, but either way, really cool tool.
My phone died.
Oh no.
I don't know how long we've been going.
I don't know. It's all right. We'll just roll with it.
Yeah. Another big thing we want to really talk about, especially when it comes to AR, is never sacrificing speed I'm sorry, never sacrificing technique at the cost of speed. And that was something you wrote down and something I've definitely instilled in you.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's really overlooked in a lot of like equipped lifters training, but like having specific technique training behind everything.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the speed work I see on the internet, I'm not gonna bash anybody. It's just like something I noticed. Like a lot of the bars are just like flopping around and you're just moving about.
Yeah, it's like
fast, but you're not
yeah.
doing anything with that speed.
Yeah, you're doing the explosive part, but that's about it.
Right. I think it's really important. Like every single time you're under a bar, whether benching, squatting, if you're pulling, everything should be at a maximal speed. So you're always training that aspect, but you should also always be training the technique side of it too, because that's only going to carry over into a better output of speed.
Yeah, like every video I watch, like the ones you're talking about, I'm like, cool, you're super explosive and fast in pretty much the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Right? Like not following your normal bar path. Right? So you're training yourself not only out of technique and out of your own bar path, but resembling something that you normally wouldn't do under a heavier load. So like, what are you practicing?
Yeah, like you can bench 135 really fast, but it's going up and out over top of you. And as soon as you put a shirt on and you have like 500 or 600 pounds in your hands, as soon as it goes this direction, it's not going to stay there.
Right. Yeah. So it's like you're training things in a different manner. Like, I always think about that too with like, okay, I'll use myself for an example. I used to have this problem with deadlifts.
Okay.
Right. And I arguably, I probably still do. So like Matt and Jess would always hound me for like on lighter weights, like anything from like 225 to 405. I would ragdoll it, and it was almost like I was shrugging it at the top.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen you do that.
Right, you've seen me do that, right? And it was because I was pushing so hard through the floor, which is great because again, like we look at our DU work, oh yeah, I'm explosive.
Maximal speed output.
Right, maximal speed output, but am I going to shrug a 700 pound? No.
I'm sure you'll try.
I mean, I'll try, but it'll probably tear my bicep.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're getting that extra movement and stuff through. So like, yeah, it's important to move fast and utilize your technique cues, but like at the speed, like what is it sacrificing, right? That could easily be teaching me to like not pay attention to my lockout, pushing so fast that my knees unlock and unlock. You know what I mean? Like, what are you practicing?
How do you fix something like that?
Ironically, in speed work, you slow it down
Right.
a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
I know.
It sounds weird saying
it's
that.
counterintuitive to what you think speed work should be, but if your technique is dog shit, like you're not doing anything worth doing anyway.
But if you say slow down, we're not really. I think that would
Slow enough to get it right.
I think that gives the wrong message. I think if you pay enough attention, like if you're pulling deadlifts and you're going way too fast and it's going up and over you, you're shrugging it. I would say that lands more on like your quads, because if you're like, oh, it's going way too fast, and I heard that your quads are like what slow you down when you're running. All right, so if you're running and you want to slow down, you're flexing your quads more to slow yourself down. So if you're deadlifting, you're going too fast, flex your quads. It'll be a better lockout, and you're not gonna have the inertia, throw it up and over you.
Depending on where you're pushing your hips through, yeah.
Meaning what?
Like if you're like gas pedaling at a certain point and you're driving your quads that way, I mean, I flex my quads every time when I do that, but I go faster. Because then you're generating power from your hips at the same time.
Right. I don't know. You just would be better at Olympic lifting, I think. You should.
I beg to differ. I would not be good at Olympic lifting, Carl.
You should. I don't know. We should start incorporating a lot of snatch and.
Yes, that would be comical, to say the least. But fast and wrong is definitely not better than slowly, slower, and dialed in. Right? Like when you're, especially, I mean, the most common one we see is bench. Actually, I saw it. There wasn't any AR on the bar, but I saw an absolutely awful squat. Example of this by like a pretty popular coach.
Okay.
I think he's in Australia maybe.
Okay.
But dude, it was fucking ugly.
What, like speed squats? He was just doing.
Yeah, like speed squats, but like the way he was moving his neck and shit like that, I was like, bro, that ain't it, my guy.
Yeah.
He was like, come work out with me and make me do these squats crazy fast. And then I'm like, yeah, they were fast, but like, dude, like the technique was just so ugly and awful.
There's also an aspect of it, like if you're doing box squats, like you don't want to catch that whip and then cause yourself to like, if you're using the whip to get off the box faster and take some of the load off your back.
Are you talking about like letting loose at the bottom, and you're talking about the rock on the box?
Not even that. Like if you're taking your descent way too fast, you hit the box. Yes, you rock on it because you're going back too fast, but then the bar kind of flexes and then shoots back up, and you shoot up with that.
Oh,
you're
you try to do the
aspect
timing aspect of it. Yeah, for sure.
You're losing that part of the speed work because you're not handling any load in that aspect of getting off the box.
Very true. Also, like I think we haven't talked a lot about this, but I think it'd be a good place to work this in. We talk a lot about like we use a lot of boxes in our training, like high boxes, like to depth boxes, like all kinds of stuff. But a lot of people ask me like we don't typically like
we're not box.
I would call it the West Side Rock.
We're not
right.
Yeah. We're not box squatting. We're squatting to a box.
Correct. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what we use the box for is to have a slow and controlled approach towards the bottom of the squat where we would emulate where your suit's going to tighten up and give you that extra like stability and tightness in the hole, right? Versus like going to a box, getting loose, rocking back, and using that momentum to come off the box, right? I always found like the other way helped me more in a suit because like there's no circumstance. Obviously, they both have, you know, their proper place and time. But for me, training in suits and briefs, like there was no time I'd ever needed to like move like that in order to make the suit work properly.
Right. I think the confusion in that though is the box squat is training the flex off of it.
Right.
So from a release position, and what you're saying is like you're not ever going to release in the bottom of a movement.
Correct.
However, are you not released at the top of a deadlift before you go down and then flex into it?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Each one has its own time and place because now you're doing one movement that's trading for a different movement.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Because then you do get crossover for sure.
Yeah. We just don't train the typical box squats because like, well, we've always just squatted to a box. I don't think we've ever had any waves where we did an actual box squat.
No, and like for me, a lot of times, like a lot of lifters will get really sloppy with that too. Like in the rock, they'll fold in the torso a lot.
It's hard to
right. But like definitely. I see a lot of that too, and like rather than like lowering the weight and like correcting that, they'll just like take it as like, well, that's part of the approach.
Yeah. It's also super dangerous if you don't know what you're doing because if you do decide to like release on the bottom of the box and then come out to it and you shoot your, whole self forward, then it turns into a good morning,
Yeah,
and you're just
right,
trying to
exactly. Well, especially
arch your back out of it.
Well, especially considering what bar you might be using too. Like if you did that with an SSB or you did that with a bully, like bro, you fold like a taco.
Yeah, you're in bad news.
Yeah. You're gonna be using a lot of back strength you don't want to use.
It's true.
A product recommendation, shout out to Havoc. I've been friends with these guys for probably like 3 or 4 years now. So me and Carl, I usually get questions on my Instagram too. Like they'll see us using these big metal hooks that have holes drilled in the side of them. They're called Havoc hooks. You can buy them from Havoc. Dude, they are awesome because the holes allow you to attach carabiners to do chains. The top part of the actual hooks, you can fold bands over top of them. There's 2 different height adjustments. Obviously, with the carabiners, you can lower and adjust as well. It's very functional for people who are going to utilize AR a lot and especially use AR a lot in groups of people that need things changed in a fast, rotating set manner.
Yeah. A great example for us is like we have some taller people that train with us, and what we'll do is we'll take chains off of the Havoc that are like clipped over top of it,
closer to the floor for us because of our height.
Exactly, and we can move that per lifter.
Right, and move them up so they get the amount of chains they need for that. Same thing goes with bands. Like you and me will go red and blue, and then some people in our group can only do the red, so we'll slip off the blues, but leave the blues on the mono, and then we just reattach when it becomes our set again.
Right.
So really cool tools you can look at as far as like Havoc hooks, easy loader straps for both deadlift and squat and bench. They sell those on Elite FTS. The Havoc hooks are exclusive to Havoc on their website. But all really good things. And also for our deadlift, I get asked a lot too. How do we get our chain set up so good?
Oh,
apparently I set up chains for deadlift really good.
Right. We talked about this one before.
Your hammock. Amazon, buy a 500-pound Amazon rated hammock strap, cut it to the length you need, and then burn the ends of it so the nylon doesn't come undone. And then like you're set, dude. Just buy like 2 heavy duty carabiners, you're good to go, man.
The length that you got it at right now is perfect because you can like you drag the chains up to it, wrap it over, and then like cross wrap it to the other side.
Yeah.
And then one of them just slips right in the middle there.
Yep. So
Stays pretty snug.
Yeah, I've practiced it. But now the thing with that is too, you don't want to wrap it too many times around the bar because then it grabs the bar and it won't allow the bar to rotate when you lift it. So
Right.
it will actively like obviously when you're working with chains and stuff, there's going to be an extra grip dynamic to it anyway, but this will like actively roll the bar out of your hands, which isn't that conducive for training.
As a conventional puller, though, you do have to watch where your chains are set up at because the way we have it, like half the chains are linked to the forward side of it and half of them are linked to the back. So you can like split it between yourself. That way, like a sumo puller's not gonna have a problem because your feet are so far out and the chain's gonna sit between you. But a conventional puller, if the chains are in the front and back and not like hanging on the sides, it's not gonna affect where you place your feet, even for that narrow stance.
Now, one of the things I always talk about too when we talk about AR and we look at bands and chains is like, when is like too much AR, too much AR? You know what I mean? Like, you'll see a guy with like 2 plates on the bar and then they'll have like 4 bands on each side of the bar. And I'm like, but why?
See, I think we're gonna disagree on this one because I think it's fun, and I always want to try
Well,
it.
like, okay, so
I know I know it's a bad idea, but I want to try it just to see like.
okay, so
how
like
does this work?
here's my thing. Like, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying like, is there a methodology, like a method behind it, or is it simply like you said? Well, I just want to do it because it's fun.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is a method behind it.
Right. Like
You're deloading way too much at the bottom. I saw videos of like AJ Roberts like from like 20 years ago doing one plate or just the bar, and he'll put like a blue and then like a second blue, third blue, purple's purple. You know, so he tells you had like 800 pounds of bands on there, 900 pounds of bands.
right. Like so. Like I don't know.
I've never seen any reason behind it. It was used for a while, but I don't think. I think it's been phased out because of there being no reason to continue doing it, or just like a higher risk to what it produces.
Right. Versus like, I mean, like, what do we work with? You know, medium to heavy bands, 1 or 2 bands, plus like anywhere between 40 to 60%.
We
Heavier
might
days, maybe 70% of the weight.
we might have. I don't measure. I don't know what they would even equal.
We probably go up to 200 band.
I was
The
gonna say
tops
3,
like
top
200.
end, yeah,
You think 3?
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Okay. But we definitely don't go over that.
No.
And
no.
rarely do we go to 3.
Yeah,
I'd say
that's
most
like
of the
on,
time
like-
we're situated around like 200.
right, totally.
On squats, 200. On deadlifts, we're probably situated closer to like 100 and 150.
Yeah. I
know
can't
what I mean?
handle any more bands than that on deadlifts.
Right. So again,
Rip it
that's
out
what
of
I'm
my
saying.
hands.
Like here, if we're using like that idea, like why wouldn't I make Carl just strip all the way down to 1 plate and just keep adding bands on you?
Hold on. Maybe there's
Maybe this is
a
the
hidden
secret.
gem right there.
Maybe.
Crazy band tension on deadlifts is a great grip trainer, but not a deadlift trainer.
True. I can see how that's possible. That would also be like, have you seen the people that will load a barbell in a rack and set the pin safeties like 2 inches above the bar and then pull an empty bar into the rack and just exert as much force into the rack
Yeah.
as humanly possible
I have seen that.
and hold that for like 10 seconds?
Right. That's a good one.
Like a static load pull.
I feel like that would kill me, but
Yeah.
it's probably
I
good.
think any of the ideas we've said out loud, you say out loud, oh, this sounds fun, but I guarantee if I program it, you are going to have 0 fun.
We just got to do a really high pin pull with like 600 pounds of bands and see what happens.
Woof. Yeah, I don't know if that's a great idea. You know what? I think the first week to check my lat and make sure it's good, we should probably do that.
It's a good benchmark.
I think it'll be, if it holds up, we know we're good.
Yeah.
We're probably fine.
I see no flaws.
I think that's a great idea. I think that sounds super safe, man.
I see no flaws in that.
Yeah, I think it sounds super safe. I think we got time for like 1 or 2 more.
Okay. What do you got here?
Reverse band.
Yes. Okay. Oh, that's a great topic.
Because we took it away from you.
We did.
I took it away from you for this prep.
And even when we had it in, it's not what people would think when they think reverse band.
Yeah, because we use, for both squat and dead, we use very light bands.
Yes.
Like we've had other people do reverse band workouts with us and say like,
what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, like this is barely helping you. And we were like, yeah, that's the idea.
Kind of the point.
Yeah. Like we want enough to experience a little bit of help and have the load in your hands, but not enough to be like, yeah, I bullied that, bro. Like
Right.
that was all me.
It's not going to give you unrealistic expectations.
Right. And so we use it more to gauge third attempts appropriately.
Yes. Typically in preps, once we get to towards the end, like the circa max 3 week squat, we're going to put a micro band around the top. And really it's just like to help stabilize in the bottom where it's loaded up on the band the most.
Right.
But it's not really taking much of the weight off of you.
No. And I took that out this time for this prep go around for APO because Carl's strong enough to pick it. Carl's strong enough to squat it. Sometimes he's not strong enough to balance it. And if there's bands on it, it's going to help him with that balance and defeat the purpose.
Yeah. So prime example was not last meet, but the one before when I was losing squats at the bottom. It was like 825. And then we take the reverse band away and I squat 30 pounds over that. Yeah. So clear example. Hey, this was a problem. We adjusted it.
This is why we moved away from it.
And here's the result.
Yeah. Another big thing we did for you this go around was SSB work for the bottom of the squat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Because Carl discovered he's not that great at SSB.
No. Well, I think I'm not great at it because I never use it.
That's true.
And as soon as I think it was I think it was New Year's Eve when I took my first SSB squat in like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And it beat the shit out of me. And I was like, okay, I can work with this.
Yeah,
like
this is clearly something I need to work on.
Let's keep this rolling. Like typically my DE squats, I'll have like 4 plates, maybe a dime on top of that. And then I had like 300 total in plates with the band.
You were hurting.
What is this? This is not what I'm used to.
Unfortunately, I can't use the SSB anymore like I used to. There's like some nerve it sticks on my back, and even with like, I mean, dude, I've experienced it with even like 95 pounds on the bar.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason you see me and Carl squatting on either the Transformer or the Mars bar so often, because I wanted something that had some of the stability work and simulation of an SSB, but sat a little lower so it didn't pressure that nerve in my neck and back.
I also think, and this isn't nothing new, but I think that using the SSB throughout the rotation that we did helped push my deadlift into once we got to peak, and I was able to handle more of 600s in that peak.
Yeah. No, you had a great deadlift prep, this prep.
I think it's because of the SSB block that I ran, to be honest.
That's good. I will probably stick with Mars bar. Or I should make us both stick with Transformer.
Yeah. There's just no low bar, please.
Transformer was good. We'll switch it to we'll go 1 up. I'll allow you 1 up.
I think that would be what I need.
I will meet you in the middle and we'll go 1 up. So it's a high bar setting on it, which isn't that high, but
no,
still.
It's only 1 pin up.
It's only 1 pin up, but it might make a difference for you.
Very cool bar. I haven't used that one too much.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty wild. It's fun. I actually won that from Garage Gym.
Hell of a prize.
Yeah, it was hell of a prize. And let's talk about the last thing we worked on. What did we switch up for your lockout?
On which movement?
Bench. So remember, we took your dynamic work closer. Right, yes. So we changed your dynamic work grip width in closer to work more tricep.
Typically, all of my bench workouts have been max legal grip, which is index on the ring.
Right.
I don't know what the inches are. You could tell me, but
81.
Exactly.
All right, it's not inches.
Smarty pants. Centimeters, whatever. Millimeters? I don't know.
Yes, millimeters, Carl.
So we took all of my secondary bench days, whether it be rep work or speed work, into index finger on ring. And I mean, I saw it almost instantly, the results. It not only did it maybe took some pressure off my shoulders and gave that more time to recover, but it also hammered my triceps a lot more. Go figure, it's a close grip. And just that alone, like, got me handling 30 to 40 more pounds on a lockout than I was previously.
And we also prescribed a secondary auxiliary tricep movement, which was the handles removed on the SSB bar.
Yeah,
JM,
some JM presses.
Some JM presses.
Which I think I hadn't touched those in like 2 years.
Yeah, and we're still continuing to do those right now.
Yeah, but we're not taking them super heavy. We're taking that.
We're
at
taking
high
like
volume.
sets of 15.
Sets of 15, which is, I feel like, not typical to the usual auxiliary movement.
Well, I mean, it's not typical for me because when I used to do them prominently, I was very heavyweight and I was standing like reps of like 6 to 8.
I think if I did that, it would snap my shit off.
Yeah, I think both our elbows will be barking.
I need to be conditioned before I really dive into it.
I think you need to be conditioned for more than just the JM right now, Carl.
Yeah. But the JM is what I want, though.
that is very fair.
Yes, we added a secondary movement of JM presses after the speed work or after the rep work, all raw stuff, of course, and I don't know, it's paid off tenfold.
Yeah,
I like it a lot, and it's working, so we're gonna continue doing it.
So we're kind of scoping around, looking at some meets right now. We're kind of waiting for some news and see if this WPO thing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we're kind of trying to plan out our meet we want to do before the end of the year based on that, and if we're going to, York Barbell in October or not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm not going to get an invite, but I'm going to be there to help out whoever's going to be there.
Yeah. Which is weird because that violates my one rule for WPO, which I said I would never go do WPO without Carl. But he is very adamant about if I get this invite that I need to go do it.
Yeah, dude. You don't got many years left in this, man. You gotta enjoy it when you do. Wow. No, I'm kidding. I think it'd be nice to go there. Like, talking from my perspective, like, I'm going there first time to see you all do it, and it's not gonna be super stressful for me the first time.
I think that's a good thing, and it's definitely one on my bucket list. Like, that's something I want to do.
Yeah,
especially someone who came from a raw background to like go to WPO Worlds.
Oh, that's
as
sick.
Like an equipped lifter. Like when I used to only predominantly do raw. Wow. Like that's like. You kind of made it in both fields, you know what I mean? So like that is definitely on my bucket list for me.
Who in the sport still has done the Kern and the W?
That's true.
Maybe Phil. Maybe
I think Phil. Actually, yeah, I think Phil.
I think Phil probably lands in that category.
Yeah.
Probably
Dude,
only
weird on the Greeno stats on BarPath. Like, because of course I was bullshitting and checking.
Oh yeah.
Out. Dude, my raw scores are still like stupid high.
Well, yeah, you're like probably top 1% still.
Yeah, it was wild. I thought for sure, like, I mean, just because like look at Instagram, like you see new younger guys like in 98s and 220s that are like absolute freaks coming up, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm pushed way back, and I was surprisingly I wasn't.
Yeah.
So
no, it's cool to see.
It was cool.
I just doubling back to the BarPath stuff like that. Those stats are sick. They're cool to watch. I think it's got a really big future in like how open powerlifting is. Like, people know open powerlifting and be like, oh, that's where you get your stats.
Yeah,
I think BarPath has a really good chance.
Right, I do too, to replace that eventually. And I also think like, especially for like meet directors for like bigger meets like WPO, like American Pro, like these, I think that's a way better way to look at an accurate list of athletes to send invites to.
Why is that?
Just because of the scale it covers and possible pittings against people. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, you can look at how, like, hey, how close are these two people we're going to be inviting? And as you look at our sport start to push more, like, quote unquote rivalries, right? Yeah. Like, how can you play that up to like a bigger standard in the sport? Like, a lot of people are big on advertising.
Totally.
Like, I don't give a fuck, and we've talked about that and laughed at that, but like, that seems to be like where a lot of bigger meets are heading. Like, they want those like head-to-head like UFC style posters with like fake beefs and stuff like that. If it grows the sport, it grows the sport. But like, I'm just saying, I think that's a really good way to like, hey, how could we see who could possibly be on a really good lineup in that same day?
Yeah.
Who would actually give us a show and have a tight race?
Long story short, it's a very cool tool, and it's got a lot more like versatility than you would think it does from face value. From like an athlete and a coach's perspective. Yeah, because I'm actually going to finish uploading our logo and get some more members of the gym added to it and stuff. So sick. Trying to do that tomorrow. I think it was a cool point I saw on there. When you have the gym, like, you can go on the gym's page. There's a fake board on there for like records. Oh yeah, you can keep like an active records board of all the members in the gym and see how they pit against each other. Yeah, and it's just like a chalkboard they have on the web. It's sick. It's a very cool thing. It's a nice little addition that he added. Now, do they have that available as an app yet, or is it just a full website? I only know of the website, so I can't speak on if there's an app being developed or not. Greeno, if you got an app, let me know if I misspoke. That'd be cool to have. Also, it's like really cool that he's doing that. So just shout out to him.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. But guys, we are unfortunately out of time. I know we covered a lot of randomness here, but it's good to be back on the podcast. It's been too long and it's summer, so we're gonna try to make this a little more regular again. So, Carl, any closing remarks?
No, I think that's it. We covered all that we talked about. So
cool. We'll tune in next week. We'll be back with Love and Grumpy Paws. We out.